Hi, it's Ramesha here with Vocal Bliss. Today I want to talk about the 5 most common bad habits that aspiring singers or learning singers have throughout the years and how to get rid of them. But as always, before we dive into the topic, please consider subscribing to my channel so you won't miss any of my future videos which I will put out. So what are the 5 most common bad habits? Well, there are many that I could have chosen from, but these to me seem to be very crucial. And before I mention them, I want to explain why we even have these bad habits. I mean, often singing should be something that comes fairly natural, but why do we have these bad habits? So the reason is that unlike many other human activities, like if you think about anything, any skill that you may acquire, the more you do it, the better you get at it in general. Singing is not quite like that. And the reason is that, as I mentioned, in general, most people who are not able to sing in the way they want to, they're not able to use their voice for singing in a proper way, is because of bad habits. And this happens because the voice is something that we have with us since we were born. We've been using it all our lives. It's not like learning an instrument. If somebody puts in your hand a ukulele for the first time, you don't know anything about it. And so all you can do is learn from scratch and, start from the very beginning and gradually learn. But when it comes to singing, you have already been using your voice for speaking all your life. And so you have accumulated, or you may have accumulated, a number of habits that may or may not be helpful and conducive to you singing well. So this is why even before we decide to start singing, we may have bad habits to undo. So once you've undone the bad habits, then yes, the more you practice, the more you do it, the better you become at it. But not until then. So here are these 5 habits. Habit number 1, breathing from your chest. This is something that you see singers do, you see people in general do. Very, very few people naturally breathe diaphragmatically, which means that when you inhale, you inflate your belly. Your belly should inflate, come out like a balloon when you take a breath. In general, what you see people do is this. I watch inexperienced singers do that. And every time there's the end of a phrase, you see their shoulders go up like this. And that tells me that they are breathing in a shallow way, which is not the correct way. You need to use these big muscles, your belly muscles, when you sing, and not the small muscles that are your throat muscles. So it's very important when you are singing, every time you take a breath, inhale by inflating your belly more. It doesn't mean that that's all you do, but that's primarily what you do. So how do you correct this? So first of all, practice diaphragmatic breathing aside from singing. So sit up straight or lay down on your back and just learn to inhale, inflating your belly comes out, and exhale, your belly goes back in. And try to do this consciously. You have to become used to your breathing happening that way. Once you feel that that's becoming more automated, then you can go to phase number 2 of what you can do to correct it, which is sing a song that you know very well, simple song, and sing it very slowly. And then every time you need to breathe, stop for a moment and take the time to breathe by inflating your belly, and then continue singing. And then when you run out of breath again, stop. Inhale, inflating your belly, and then continue singing. This is done so that you can consciously breathe diaphragmatically while you're singing. And over time, this will build the habit, because we're talking about undoing a habit and replacing it with another good, better habit. And so undo this thing of inhaling like this. So keep your shoulders down, relaxed. Don't even lift them at all. So when you inhale, just inflate your belly. Take your time to do that, and then continue singing your song. And do that for a little while until it becomes automatic. So bad habit number 2, squeezing your throat. So when you sing, try to feel that this area here, especially the pharynx, this here, every part of this area is relaxed. Think of it as an open channel through which the air flows, making the vocal cords vibrate. But it doesn't create tension by itself. It's just a station where the air goes through, and the air is like a train going through a station and makes your vocal cord vibrate, producing the sound. That's it. No tension, nothing. Everything should be as relaxed as possible. Without vocal relaxation, you will always have a hard time singing. Your singing won't sound very good. Your sound will not be nice and full and resonant. It will be always tight. You will always sound harsh. You will not be able to use the full range that your voice is capable of. And most importantly, over time, you will probably damage your vocal cords. It may happen over some years, maybe not days or weeks, but some years. But at some point, if you keep doing that, you will see that your voice will not respond very well anymore, and there may have been some vocal damage that sometimes can be irreversible. So it's very, very important to learn to sing with relaxation. So how do you correct this? Hold a note steadily in the lower range, very easy range. Hold it, and while you hold, consciously relax the throat like this. As you relax, you will notice that the sound will become more resonant, fuller, and bigger without you even trying. And this is important because it will give you the experience of how little energy is actually needed to sing a good note. So focus on this area here, and while you hold, relax these muscles. Sometimes in the beginning it may not go smoothly, like the voice might crack and break. That's fine. It's because you are relaxing the muscles, and so there's some adjustments that need to happen. What I showed you is already the finished product, so it's easy to do. But when you're learning to do it for the first time, there might be some things that happen. Just don't worry about it. Keep going, keep relaxing, and gradually you will learn how to produce these sounds in a relaxed way. Another exercise that you can try is sing a song that you know very well. Again, an easy song can be the same song that we talked about earlier. And as you do, focus on your throat and try to sing it as relaxed as possible. Keep these muscles relaxed and feel your throat relaxed and open as much as you can. Try to experiment. Okay, can I relax a little bit more? And if you do and you notice that the sound falls apart, that okay, maybe that was too much. But you need to find a way to produce sounds with much, much less tension here. Okay? Bad habit number 3 is pushing your chest voice beyond its limits. This is what I used to do before I took voice lessons. I didn't know any better. I didn't know there was such thing called head voice. I just sang everything in my chest and pushed, and went as high as I could go, which wasn't very high. But that's all I could do. And then my teacher taught me about head voice. And all of a sudden I realized that, if I don't push and strain and instead relax and open, I can actually go much higher with no effort whatsoever. So this is very, very important to learn. So how do you correct this? Pick an exercise like an arpeggio exercise, like oh, you can go, you can do any vowel. In fact, you should do all the vowels. And then when you get to the top note, instead of tensing and pushing when it gets higher, relax and pull back. And in the beginning, it might sound like this. It might sound very thin and soft like that, almost like falsetto. That's fine. Let it sound like that. The most important thing is for you to learn to reach these higher notes without effort. Number one top goal in mind for you is that. Number one priority. Once you're able to hit those notes with no tension, then gradually, as you do it more, your sound will open up and expand and strengthen. And eventually, it will sound just as loud and big and strong as your low notes. But it might take some time, depending how much tension you've been carrying in your throat. It might take some time. It took me quite a while because I was singing, like I said, everything in my chest voice and pushing it. So it took me some time to undo that habit and create a new one. But it works. It does work, so just stick with it. You can find also other videos on here where I talk about how to access your upper range, and there's exercises there. You can just go and find those. Bad habit number 4, not opening your mouth enough. This might seem like a small thing, but if you go, especially in the high notes, and you feel like you cannot open your mouth, that's usually a sign that you're carrying tension in the throat. Because once the throat is open and relaxed, opening your mouth up there won't be and shouldn't be a problem. So if you're having a hard time opening your mouth, you will probably notice that as soon as you start to open, you force your mouth to open, probably the voice will crack a little bit. That's an indication that all of a sudden you just let go of that tension and the voice doesn't know what to do quite yet. It's a little bit disoriented and so it cracks. But the more you do it, especially if you do it in association with the exercises that I just talked about previously, you will notice that gradually you will be able to do that more. And opening your mouth is very important because it allows your voice to be stronger, fuller, and more resonant. And otherwise up there, if you don't open your mouth, you'll reach a point where no sound will come out because there's no space. Opening your mouth is also it triggers also the expanding and opening of the throat, which is what helps the sound be more resonant and bigger. So if you don't open your mouth, at some point the sound won't come out anymore. So you need to learn to do that. So an easy way to correct this is stand in front of a mirror, do some vocal warm-ups, and especially when you reach the higher notes, force yourself to open your mouth. When it's open correctly, your mouth should look like a standing egg. Like that. Oh, like that. Oh, and not. Oh. Okay? So make sure that you do that. And you will see how much freer the whole vocal organs will be. And the last bad habit is lack of vocal resonance. There's a belief out there, I notice these days, that you should pronounce the words in singing exactly in the same way as when you're speaking. Well, that's not exactly true, because when you speak, you have a lot less resonance. And you're also speaking pretty much always in your lower range. So what works in the lower range may not work in the higher range. So you need to pronounce the vowels, especially, we're talking about vowels because that's what we sing on, a little bit differently when you're singing. And you need to have your throat more open, so it's not so much ah, it's ah. It's the back of the throat especially is more open, and you need to find a way to pronounce all your vowels a little bit more like that. And I suggest that you go and watch a video that I posted about a week ago called how to sing with an open throat tutorial. It's a tutorial where I show you how you pronounce your words in a way that can help the sound be more resonant. And so it might sound a little odd and silly, but it actually works. This is something I used with many singers, including our choir that we direct here, and it works. It immediately gives people the experience of how to pronounce the words in a way that they can be more resonant and have a much fuller and more beautiful sound. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. This video was a little bit longer than usual, but it was worth the time, and I hope you were able to watch all the way to the end. And if you like this video, as usual, please consider giving it thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for future videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.